What is the biggest YouTube trend of 2023? Is it Mr. Beast's continued world domination and ascension to messianic divinity as he cures both the blind and the deaf? Is it the rise of short-form content with YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and TikTok? Is it the proliferation of AI content? No. The biggest thing to burst on the scene is a toilet that just can't stop singing.
What the heck is going on
Skibidi dum dum dum, yes yes. Skibidi dum dum dim dim. Skibidi dum dum dum, yes yes. Skibidi dum dum dim dim.
A YouTube channel has struck digital gold, creating a viral sensation that has exploded, gaining over 2 billion views in just over a month, and boasting a Social Blade video score to rival Mr. Beast's. But is there something deeper behind this strange toilet-based mania? What makes it irresistible, and is there some greater meaning we can draw from this viral short about content creation from the internet as a whole? Well, join me as we plunge our way down into the endless void of Skibiti Toilet and explore how sometimes, as much as things change, in many ways, they stay the same.
You gotta love to be gone back yet. Love doesn't tell how you don't you grab it.
Now, on a surface level, Skibidi Toilet might just feel like the latest insufferable trend from Gen Z children that has an inescapable hold on them for some reasons beyond human comprehension. But I'd say it's a combination of a number of factors that have driven this seemingly bizarre series of shorts into the stratosphere of online content. I've personally grown up with the internet, seeing it evolve from the insufferable dial-up modem era to the era of slow forums and the dot-com boom, to the Web 2.0 era of user-generated content, and now the potential Web 3 revolution of crypto and the slowly emerging metaverse. And to me, this reminds me of the earlier era of Newgrounds Flash animations. Back before YouTube, the only place for online videos was the great realm of Flash animation, where nerdy degens would share their perverse, boundary-pushing wares by creating Flash animations. Some of these would become the very first examples of viral hits and memes, like the famous Badger 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 Mushroom song. Many of the creators of this era are even relevant today, like Aaron Hansen, aka Egoraptor, or Chris O'Neill, better known as Oni, are still creating content and animations to this very day, with Oni having made the successful Smiling Friends animated series for Adult Swim, and Aaron Hansen got knocked out in boxing.
4 shots in a row, Harley unanswered. Aaron's trying to cover up. Referee's taking a look.
One of the icons of this era was Tom Ska, the creator of the ASDF movie animation series, who has managed to have a decade-spanning career in online content creation.
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor.
I like singing. I like dancing.
I like trains.
The ASDF movie is sort of the pinnacle of the so random genre of internet humor. While it might not seem like there's much method to the madness, in this video on his main YouTube channel, Tom Scott breaks down the types of humor that characterize the mini sketches that have made the ASDF animation such an enduring success.
Anyway, to make sense of Asta Movie, I'm first going to need to break it down into its bare essentials. Between the 12 episodes, 3 deleted scenes, 1 sponsored video, and 1 Skyrim parody, there have been 226 sketches in the Asta Movie series thus far, and because I hate fun, I've compiled them into one gigantic spreadsheet. Now, those 226 sketches all follow one simple comedic principle: the subversion of expectations. In short, surprise the audience with an unexpected Outback Steakhouse. You think he's gonna fall down? Up he goes. You think being stabbed is bad? Not this time. You think butterflies are harmless? This one will bang your wife. But to truly understand why these subversions are funny, I need to dig a little deeper. First, we have a true random, where the punchline is completely untethered to the setup, where nothing in the build-up leads to the outcome.
Hey, cool hat.
Then there's literal outcomes, because when you're expecting the unexpected, sometimes getting exactly what's promised is its own surprise.
I'm feeling carsick.
Dark turns. What a wholesome and harmless situation. Sure would be a shame if something bad would have happened to it.
Got your nose. Look out, he's got a nose.
Violence is funny. It is. Parody. Self-contained jokes are great, but sometimes it's nice to fall back on a well-established worldwide trope that it's safe to assume the audience already knows.
Knock, knock. Who's there? That door.
Sequels and callbacks, recurrences of characters or setups that have appeared earlier in the Aster movie series itself.
I like trains.
Funny visuals, where the animation or the weird visuals themselves are an integral part of the joke. Funny voices for intentionally over-the-top or ill-fitting performances.
But mother, I love him.
Thing talking that shouldn't talk, because that thing shouldn't talk.
I used to be a cow.
And finally, anticlimaxes and awkward pauses, because sometimes the absence of wackiness is wacky in and of itself.
So as you can see, there are several types of jokes that translate beyond the ASDF film series, and in all honesty can be found in just about any piece of viral internet comedy. I don't know if he's done this intentionally or not, but it feels like Tom Scott's broken down the core tenets beyond just his animations and dug to the core of internet humor and virality, the beating heart of everything that drives viral engagement. And you can see these principles in all kinds of viral memes and trends and everything from keyboard cat to Ugandan knuckles. While these trends have existed since the inception of the internet, there's another edge towards how Gen Z is consuming their online content today. Mr. Sweet, a much smaller YouTuber, put out an excellent video breaking down Gen Z internet humor and explaining why it's so weird, in one of the best dissections of the topic I've ever seen.
Before we start talking about Generation Z, we need to make sure that you don't confuse Generation Z with millennials. You see, Generation Z started in 1995 and has continued through today. So how is Generation Z's humor any different? Well, to understand that, you have to understand the background of Generation Z. They were born into the age of iPhones, iPods, iPads, an instant connection to the internet at nearly all times. When you hear a joke from a friend, it's funny that first time, and then maybe it's funny one more time when you reference it. However, imagine a bunch of people who you don't particularly care for come up and they all start telling the exact same joke. This is exactly how the internet works. One person comes up with a meme, and then about 1 billion other people repost it continuously with slight variations. This overexposure of jokes is what leads to the concept of oversaturation. Being that this humor is consumed so rapidly, its life cycle is greatly diminished, leaving few-month-old trends to feel like they came out decades ago. It's cool to like things when they're cool, but it's much cooler to wait until it's completely left everyone's brain just for you to bring it back in and enjoy it ironically. The fact that the joke doesn't make any sense is itself the punchline. So what have we learned? If it's popular, it's no longer funny. If it was popular a long time ago, it's funny again. If you can get away with saying that it's ironically funny, it's funny. If the punchline doesn't inherently make any sense, it's funny. If something's considered incredibly unfunny, it's funny. But also remember that there's nothing that Gen Z likes more than changing and hating things. So this video is likely to become obsolete within a couple of weeks.
So you have the core tenets of internet comedy, the subversion of expectations, which can be broken down into different categories. Skibiti Toilet is the perfect encapsulation of all that. You have the first animation that zooms towards the toilet, a head comes out of it, and enthusiastically sings the Skibidi Toilet song accompanied by an exaggerated set of animations. Then you have the Gen Z amplification of consistent repetition. The Skibidi song is repeated ad nauseum to become insufferable, and then grows funny again through its repetition. Along with that repetition of the weird joke is also another old internet trend, which is escalation. The toilet people aren't just happy singing their weird mimetic viral song, they have to spread it around and spread it everywhere, growing into an infestation as they assault people with their never-ending barrage of the Skibidi song, which forces the introduction of a new faction, the TV and camera people, who seem dead set on ensuring that the toilet people's madness is contained and spreads no further. This, of course, leads into further insanity and escalation as the toilet people develop toilet parasites that can control the TV people. The TV people bring about huge titans the size of towering skyscrapers. This sense of absurd, never-ending escalation also holds its presence in older web series like another series of famed Flash animations from Newgrounds, the Madness series, which would see one super action guy beat up throngs of goons in a violent montage. This became an elaborate, beloved series as future updates would all seek to escalate the action to new ridiculous heights. Skibidi Toilet also features this innate escalation as the two factions of toilet men and TV camera people bring new tools and weapons and continue to wage a never-ending spy versus spy war of increasing escalation. It's classic cartoon violence filtered through the prism of internet culture, And a third thing that has helped this series of animated shorts pop off is the fact that they're all made using the Source engine, Gary's Mod, and Steam Filmmaker. Now, for those of you who don't know, all these tools originate from Valve, one of the most legendary and most well-respected developers in the game industry, who are responsible for such industry-defining hits like Half-Life, Left 4 Dead, Counter-Strike, and Portal. A key to Valve's growth has been their embrace of modding culture and user-generated content. They've grown from a developer into a publisher, where now their Steam platform is the biggest and perhaps only game in town if you're looking to publish a game on the PC. And they also have let their tools be open source, allowing people to develop items and cosmetics and sell them in games like Team Fortress 2. Hell, even Counter-Strike started its life as a multiplayer mod for Half-Life. So Valve has been an ingrained presence in internet and boomer gamer culture for eons. A lot of Skibiti Toilet character models are based on characters from the acclaimed Half-Life series, so this has given this bizarre web series a lot of cross-generational appeal. You might not like the zoomer repetition and the nonsensical toilet war, but the old memberberry triggers when you see the infamous G-Man face on a toilet shooting lasers from his eyes.
Member? Hey, member!
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
I know it gave me a weird sense of nostalgia and made me pay more attention to this phenomenon than I would a regular TikTok trend. And then you have the perfect storm. Series creator Dafak Boom has been a successful animator posting shit posts before using Steam Filmmaker and has seen success, but all these factors have allowed him to strike digital gold, the likes of which have never been seen before, gaining an insane view counts of 2 billion views in a month, even surpassing Mr. Beast in terms of growth and virality, earning an A++ score on Social Blade, above Mr. Beast's A+. Now, when I see most trends on the internet, I feel old, like the culture is moving past me, especially when I see stuff on TikTok. There's a brilliant episode of South Park called You're Getting Old, where everything Stan listens to or sees starts sounding like shit.
And so then I put on the exact same album that I really liked a year ago, and it sounded like shit to me.
Uh-huh. What's that sound like to you?
Sounds like shit.
I'm gonna try something else. Look at these two pictures. One of them is an ad for Kevin James' new movie, The Zookeeper, and the other is a turd in a microwave. You don't see any difference in the pictures.
No.
You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty.
It's this wonderful metaphor for growing up and falling out of touch with what's cool and hip, and as the march of time goes on, things feel more and more alien to you, especially with how fast culture moves on the internet.
How spicy. Ice cream, yum! Kitty balls, ice cream, yum!
It always feels like there's something around the corner that'll push beyond the boundaries of what you find sensible and within good taste. You're in tune with the culture, you consume the culture, but then the culture grows alien and foreign, and you feel yourself growing into the role of your parents.
Let rain. Some stay dry and others feel.
What the hell are you two doing? It's called rocking out. You wouldn't understand, Dad. I used to be with it. But then they changed what it was. And what's it seems weird and scary to me.
How's it going, bro? My name's Brody Pie.
It'll happen to you. No way, man. We're gonna keep on rocking forever. Forever.
Gang gang. Ice cream so good, take a Jackie. Gang gang, gang gang, gang gang. Oh, special. Gang gang, rah, rah, rah. Gang gang, gang gang. Balloon. Gang gang, gang gang. That was good. Lemonade. Hee-haw, yes. You got me feeling like a cowgirl.
Forever. Forever. Forever.
But strangely enough, I don't feel that with Skibidi Toilet. It's this weird sort of comfort blanket, as strange and nonsensical as it might appear. It feels like its roots of comedy and storytelling can be traced back to the oldest eons of internet culture, tenets and styles that have never really gone out of fashion. It feels like something that came from the Newgrounds or albino black sheep era of 2004, drummed up with the early 2010s elements of Valve software, mashed together to make something strange and new. I'm sure eventually it'll reach a Five Nights at Freddy's point of oversaturation, but for now I take comfort that what is old is new again, and despite how much the internet has changed, in some ways the kind of stuff that goes viral and finds an audience doesn't really change. The same principles of comedy creation still hold true, So if these weird toilet men and TV people come across your timeline, I hope I've better explained their long history, and maybe you can take some internet boomer comfort that maybe those darn kids aren't so different from you after all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps contextualize the madness of the Skibidi Toilet cinematic universe. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do the things that Stanley Tucci demands. Help me out in the algorithm if you appreciate what I do. And a special thank you to the members of the Lobster Pot Patreon who support my work outside of the YouTube ecosystem: Joseph Malty, Aaron Tony, Carla Hoffman, Shonen Ronan, Eric Duhane, and Richard G. Lanzera. These are the people who fund my work and get access to it early, so please feel free joining them by becoming a Patreon member, and I'll see you when I put out my next video.